Agent Garbo, the master of deception. Introduction, the unlikely spy. Juan Pujol García, better known by his code name, Agent Garbo, is one of the most extraordinary figures in the annals of espionage. His journey from an unremarkable hotel clerk in Barcelona to a key player in the Allied victory in World War II is a story of resilience, ingenuity, and deception. A man without formal training in intelligence, Pujol played a central role in one of the most successful deception operations in modern history, misleading the German high command about the location of the D-Day invasion and ultimately securing a crucial advantage for the Allies. The Seeds of a Spy. Born on February 14, 1912 in Barcelona, Pujol's early life was shaped by the intense political turbulence that characterized early 20th century Spain. As a young boy, he witnessed the political upheavals that led to the fall of Spain's monarchy and the establishment of the Second Spanish Republic in 1931. But Pujol's adolescence was overshadowed by the Spanish Civil War, a brutal conflict that ravaged the country from 1936 to 1939. The war left a profound impression on him, one that would inform his views on totalitarianism and motivate him to take action in the struggle against fascism during World War II. A world in crisis. The Spanish Civil War was not only a national conflict, but also a battleground for ideologies, with communist and anarchist forces clashing against the conservative, fascist forces led by General Francisco Franco. Although initially conscripted into the Republican Army, Pujol quickly became disillusioned by the extremism he saw on both sides of the war. After deserting the Republican Army, Pujol was briefly imprisoned by both factions before eventually emerging from the war deeply disillusioned with the violence and ideological rigidity of both the Republican and nationalist sides. This period in his life would later shape his desire to fight against fascism in more subtle and strategic ways during World War II. What a new beginning. The quest to fight fascism. By the time World War II broke out in 1939, Spain was under the authoritarian rule of Franco, who had aligned himself with Nazi Germany and Fascist Italy. While Spain remained officially neutral in the global conflict, Pujol, like many others, felt a strong moral obligation to oppose the growing tide of fascism. The natural course of action for many was to join the military or participate in underground resistance movements, but Pujol lacked the means to do so in Spain. However, he saw an opportunity to help the Allied cause in an unconventional way, through espionage, becoming a double agent. Pujol's foray into espionage began with his ambitious but ultimately unsuccessful attempts to approach the British intelligence services. Initially, he offered his services as a spy, but his lack of experience and clear credentials caused British authorities to dismiss him. Not one to give up easily, Pujol turned to the Germans, pretending to be an enthusiastic supporter of the Nazi regime, and offered to spy for them. In 1941, his offer was accepted by the German intelligence agency, Abwehr, who were eager to infiltrate British intelligence networks and provide the German high command with valuable information. A spy for the Nazis, Pujol, now working for the Germans, was trained in the basics of espionage, including using invisible ink, codes, and how to send secret messages. He was posted to Lisbon, a neutral city brimming with spies and informants, where he began fabricating reports for his German handlers. These reports, while entirely fictional, were based on publicly available information, such as British travel guides, newspapers, and magazines. His early intelligence reports were elaborate fictions, but they had a critical element of truth to make them more credible. For example, Pujol would describe detailed troop movements and military activities, all of which were entirely fabricated based on his own imagination and the available public data. A web of deception. Over time, Pujol's fabricated reports became more sophisticated. He created a network of fictional sub-agents, each with their own carefully constructed backstory. These imaginary spies included a Greek courier, a Welsh seaman, and even a disgruntled British officer. Each agent played a role in providing fabricated intelligence to the Germans, making the deception seem more credible and elaborate. The Germans, eager to gather intelligence, were convinced of the authenticity of Pujol's operations and placed great trust in him. So successful was his deception that the German High Command even awarded him the Iron Cross, a recognition of his supposed contribution to the war effort.